I looked down at my wrist, and so did everyone else. We were wearing the same bracelet.
The real shock? None of us had any memory of how we'd gotten there.
Close your eyes and imagine this. Waking up not in your warm bed, but on a low, creaky cot, surrounded by pale, humming light. The buzz settles just behind your eyes, before you even notice the others. 3 men and 2 women, all strangers, sharing your slow, bewildered panic. An unfamiliar air freshener fights a deeper chemical tang. Every detail is too vivid. It's Monday, June 7th, 2021. The world outside is moving, unaware, as 5 people open their eyes in a windowless rec room. The floor is a linoleum so abused, its original color is a ghost. Cheap folding chairs lean against one wall. A vending machine flashes error codes. There's a single locked metal door, a battered clock stuck at 9:32. But those details are background to the main mystery. On each person's right wrist, a narrow hospital-style plastic bracelet. Clear, with a barcode and several seemingly random letters. KM-X219. All 5 wrists. No memory.
Lucia Delgado, 36, registered nurse, soft-spoken, sits up first. She's used to chaos, but not to being on the side of the bed where you wake up without recall. Next is Omar Zahir, freelance journalist, round glasses askew, searching for his phone and coming up empty. Close behind, Taylor Munro, college student, skater, hiding panic behind forced bravado. The final 2, grandmother Judith Morell and IT manager Preston Lynn, rise more cautiously, exchanging wary glances. None of them knows the others. None remembers anything after, at best, a foggy Sunday evening. Lucia's last memory? Parking at her apartment complex. Omar remembers sitting at his desk working on an article. Taylor was at a party, cider in hand. Judith was reading before bed. Preston's memory is strangest.
I was on the bus, I think. It was raining, I must have drifted off, but not here.
All 5 bear the same winding new scratch on their forearms. A voice breaks the silence.
Is this a prank? Like an escape room? Someone's filming us, right?
Taylor tries at humor, but their voice is too thin, trembles underneath. Judith shakes her head.
Firm. No. No cameras, no windows.
Lucia's nurse's instinct takes over. She checks Judith's pulse, tries the door, scans for medical signs. Nothing lethal, at least for now. Their bracelets are tight, non-removable. The vending machine has nothing but expired chips and murky water bottles. Preston tries the coin return. Empty. They begin to speak, hesitantly, piecing together what little they know. Omar carefully reads his bracelet aloud.
KM-X219. Some kind of code?
Lucia's is identical. Together, they notice a small, wall-mounted white speaker, and as the battery-dim clock shifts to 9:33, that speaker crackles awake.
Good morning,
Says an artificial-sounding voice.
remain calm. You have not been harmed. Memory loss is temporary. You will be released soon. Cooperation ensures your safety.
The speaker goes dead. Judith lets out a half-sob. Preston curses. Lucia takes a shaky breath, stands.
Let's make a list. What's new? What's familiar? We can't panic.
She is trembling as she takes charge. Pause. 5 strangers, united by confusion, fear, and an identical band around their wrist. The first real question hangs in the stagnant air. Who wants them here? And, perhaps even more terrifying, what did they want to forget? The next 15 minutes drag on. silent except for restless movements and the creak of old cots. Preston paces, counting vents and floor tiles, muttering aloud.
KMX219. Barcode doesn't scan, obviously, but what is it?
He tries to peel his bracelet off, but can't. It's sealed. No clasp, no tear line. Lucia inspects Taylor's. Same. Judith, hands trembling, suggests.
It might be medical, or like prisoner IDs.
Omar writes every detail he can recall on the back of a vending machine wrapper, marking the bracelet code at the top. He's always sought patterns in chaos, wars, disasters, disappearances. But this is personal. The human brain is built to spot order, especially under threat. 5 strangers, 1 code, no memory. The simplest solution, Lucia proposes, is to share everything. Every embarrassing memory, every unrelated ache or moment. Maybe a clue will surface. So, one by one, they recount their final hours before blackout. Taylor. Late-night laughter at a friend's house off 8th Avenue. Then nothing. Omar. Deadline haze. Last timestamp on his work laptop was 11:53 p.m. Judith. Meds at 9, her Siamese cat curling up, TV murmuring. Preston. Wet umbrella, the stale bus air, dozing. What bus? Which route? Lucia. Peppermint tea at her kitchen table, feeling a headache bloom. None overlap. No same spaces, no mutual friends, wildly different neighborhoods. They consider drugs a mass prank, a psychological experiment. Lucia refuses.
I've seen patients after head wounds, but memory wipes this clean for all of us. That's not a street drug. That's chemical, or...
A fear she won't say. Preston rattles the door, yelling,
Someone, let us out!
Silence. Then, footsteps. A thin envelope slides under the door. Inside, 5 printed sheets, each a short, anonymous profile with seemingly random facts. Amateur chess player, owners of red sedan, allergic to penicillin, born between March and July, parents foreign-born. Some facts connect vaguely to individuals, but no names, and not all facts seem to apply. The 5th sheet is a copy of a missing persons poster, 5 faces poorly photocopied, all a bit younger than present. But they're the 5 in the room, missing since 2012, the year 2021. A second pause. If time theft was possible, what would it feel like to lose a decade? Omar staggers backward.
This can't be. I wasn't missing. I was home.
Taylor turns pale. Judith clutches the paper in disbelief. Lucia and Preston quietly compare the posters, older, tired faces in the room, baby fat faces in the photos. Preston snatches the sheets and holds them up to the lone flickering light. Someone's watching us. Why lie about our lives? Taylor's hands shake. They take the only sharp object, a vending machine key, snapped in half from a last desperate attempt at escape, and scratch a crude calendar on the wall, counting the hours. If we're not out in 12, that's a clue. Someone outside knows the truth, or we're bait. Judith starts humming, nervous, barely holding it together. In that tremor, Lucia recognizes an old church melody.
My husband sang that before his stroke.
Judith's eyes flash.
Mine too, after the war.
A pattern forms, shared details too slim for coincidence. Same melody, parallel lives. The speaker crackles again.
Cooperation will result in improved conditions. The test ends at 1900. Food and water will be provided.
2 crisp water bottles and a single wrapped sandwich appear, pushed through a slot. Taylor refuses to eat. Preston downs his water in an instant. Judith laments.
Tests mean experiment, and experiments mean someone is learning from us.
At that, Lucia's voice shakes with quiet rage.
They didn't ask our consent. That means they're not allowed.
Omar, investigator at heart, finds something new. He checks the lining of the cots, prying at worn corners until he feels stiff paper, 3 old cards, each marked Facility B and a 4-digit code. The numbers 1029, 2048, 7619. Judith gasps. Dates October 29th, February 4th, July 6th, birthdays maybe. Preston insists. They're just numbers. Tension rises. Lucia's temperament phrase.
If they wanted to kill us, they could have already. If they wanted us to remember, they'd help us. No, this is about forgetting, about fear.
Omar tests the codes on the vending machine, the door, even the malfunctioning wall panel. Nothing.
Taylor tosses the copy of the missing persons poster, their voice so small. What if they're right? What if the last 10 years are just fake? Preston pounds the wall. I have a wife! I have a son!
He slumps to the ground, head in hands, fighting back tears. The room grows stifling even as the air conditioner's hum remains constant. Jolted by survival instinct, the group decides on action. Lucia ties paper napkins together, planning to wedge them in the door as a signal. Omar scribbles a message, "Who are we?" and slides it back under. Judith starts recounting every detail of her family, lest it slip away for real. They talk through theories, mass hypnosis, cult induction, corporate experiment gone wrong. Some suggest alien abduction. Finally cracks the tension. But the consensus lands on something deeply human.
Memory is the only thing they want. It's us they want to erase.
The clock ticks, still stuck at 9:32, but Preston's watch reads 11:21. Time, like memory, is slippery. 5 souls trapped between the before and the after. The real test hasn't even begun. The next hour passes in uneasy truce, hunger, suspicion, and whispered fears. At precisely 12, the stagnant lights flicker off, plunging the room into near darkness. The speaker crackles again.
Test Phase 2. Respond to the memories.
Suddenly, projections fill the far wall. Home videos, school portraits, stilted family scenes. Lucia sees herself, laughing. At a birthday party she's sure never happened. Omar's face slurs through news clips, labeled as missing, 2012. Taylor watches a grainy holiday, panic rising as familiar faces look so much younger. A scent drifts into the room, sharp and clinical. Judith clutches her head, memories swimming into place. Her childhood kitchen, her father's laugh, the feeling of loss. Preston shouts,
They're toying with us. This isn't real.
He pounds at the door, bracelets rattling. The group spirals. Lucia remembers a blue bicycle. Was it hers or borrowed from the vision? Omar, recalling fragments of a hospital corridor, wonders if he was ever truly a reporter. Taylor confesses,
I don't know if any of you are real.
A panel slides open in the ceiling, revealing a grid of blinking lights. The speaker's voice returns.
You have been selected because your memories are susceptible to manipulation. We are studying how patterns of loss and suggestion converge. The bracelets measure your physiological responses, your ability to distinguish reality from implanted narrative.
Judith.
They're testing how much we can forget or change.
Lucia, heart pounding, suddenly recalls a lecture in nursing school about the landmark Loftus experiment, in which memories could be planted or reshaped with a few simple suggestions. Omar.
This is illegal. Whatever you're doing, it's wrong.
His voice echoes ragged. A code flashes on the projection. KMX219 equals experimental group designation, Facility B. Lucia shouts the numbers from the cots. 1029, 2048, 7119, and for a moment, the lights flicker wildly. The door buzzes. It unlocks. The 5 stare at each other, wary. Preston is first.
We have to leave. Or do we? What if this is another trick?
The hallway outside is cold, sterile, marked with signs, control room, testing lab 2, staging area. They emerge, blinking into the sunlight, police tape nearby, shouting, cameras flash, uniforms swarm in. A woman rushes over, detective badge at her belt.
You're safe.
She says,
We've been looking for you for hours.
but Lucia sees it. She's wearing the same bracelet. The 5 are hustled to waiting ambulances. Reporters shout questions. How long were you held? Who did this? What happened inside? Judith clutching her new ID.
We're still missing. Even now, are we found or just relabeled?
Medical personnel rush to remove the bracelets. They won't come off. Official statements follow. Victims of an illegal psychological study, police say. Possible connections to memory research groups, missing persons cases. Investigation ongoing. Footage floods the news. 5 strangers, now linked forever by a mystery no one's sure is solved. Each reunion with family is filmed. Each recounts a slightly different story, none complete. Taylor says,
I don't think my life before was fake, but now I'm not sure what parts belong to me.
in the months that follow, details leak, classified as psychological harm, memory manipulation, involuntary participation. The investigation uncovers shadowy researchers drawing on decades of real-world experiments into memory distortion and the limits of human recall. Headlines debate consent, trauma, and the ethics of erasing and rewriting memory, echoing controversies from real studies conducted by Elizabeth Loftus and others. Judith dies before the trial. Lucia writes a book, seeking comfort for herself in the truths she can reclaim. Taylor, Preston, and Omar never truly regain their lost memories, but form a support group, helping others question not just what they remember, but how. And the bracelets? Experts never identify the technology inside.
In the end, this story asks, if our experiences can be altered, what makes us who we are? When memory is a battleground, where does identity reside? What would you do if everything you trusted about your past could be rewritten at the stroke of someone else's pen? Don't forget to subscribe to Real Mystery Reports for more strange, dark, and profoundly human stories. New true mysteries every day.